Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. You are now rocking with the best. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will. If you're new to Captain Will, if you're new to my YouTube channel, if you're new to seeing your boy right now, hit the subscribe button, because you have tuned in to the fastest growing YouTube channel covering Gamecock sports. You're talking about Captain Will. That's what you're talking about. Oh, we're going to have a good one today, y'all. We are going to have a good one today, y'all. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Somebody, it could be a rumor. It could be some scuttlebutt. It could be some just some crazy talk. But somebody told me that in the latest AP poll, got the South Carolina Gamecocks as being number one. I don't believe that. Is that true? The South Carolina Gamecocks are ranked number one. It can't be the South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball program who lost 7 players from last year. Can't be that type. Can't be the same one that lost all 5 starters. Can't be that number one team, huh? They couldn't possibly put us as number one, because they put us at number 6 when the preseason polls came out. Put us at number 2 in the SEC polls. They couldn't possibly put us at number 1. That couldn't happen. That's impossible, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's a great day up in Captain Will's domain today. It's a great day today. So in honor of all the naysayers who talked about the South Carolina Gamecocks and prayed for our demise, South Carolina's back to number one. Back to number one like it never changed. If we want to get rid of us, but we're like some roaches, we just keep coming back. And we're back at number one. You can't get rid of us. You cannot get rid of us. And I knew that we should have been top 3, but I just didn't think that ESPN and AP pollers and all these different people who put in votes would put South Carolina number one. But if you talk about resumes mattering, if you say resumes matter, there's nobody who got a better resume than South Carolina. Because we didn't start with no Rudy Pook teams starting the first few games. No, we didn't do that. We didn't open up the season like that. And we didn't open up with the season with a scrub and then play a decent team, a top 15 team, whatever, and lose. We didn't do that. We didn't lose to an unranked team. No, that didn't happen to South Carolina. No, what South Carolina did was take the first top 10 team in Notre Dame and we beat the brakes off of them. Then we go and play Maryland at home, where we got a long winning streak since 2020, where we ain't lost at home, and we beat the brakes off of them. So it just makes sense if you're constantly talking about resumes matter, and you're constantly talking about it matters who you play, then you better put South Carolina number one, because your stackers up, we're going to knock them all down. That's how South Carolina does. That's just how we do. So South Carolina number one, and for the foreseeable future, it's going to remain that way. It's not going to be no back and forths. None of those back and forth things that we've been going on during week 1. No, because South Carolina is consistent. South Carolina can score the basketball. A lot of these teams can score the basketball, but they can't defend. So we can score the basketball, and we can defend. I already said it before. I said it before during the summer that we are better than any team in this country 1 through 9. And I dare to say we're better than any team 1 through 11. But we're just going to talk about the 1 through 9. There ain't nobody better than South Carolina. Nobody. And we go down to top 5, top 7, however you want to do it. No, we got to go down to the top 7 at least. No, you know what? We're going to go to the top 10. We're going to go to the top 10. So right now, they got the other USC out there in Southern California. They got Juju Watkins. So they're currently ranked 10th, which is good for them. In a perfect world, I wish we would play Southern Cal in the tournament. I really do. Or we could schedule something later. We do a game here in South Carolina, and we do a game out there, out in the West Coast. Your boy would love to go to LA. I love to go to LA. Been there a few times. I love it. It's some really good times out there in LA. Then number 9, you got Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech lost to Iowa. Very close game, but they dropped down to one spot. Then you got UConn. Now, I don't know. I watched the UConn game against North Carolina State, and the problem with UConn that I see, number 1, they're small. Number 2, they can't defend. You got athletic guards, they can't defend them. Sanaya Rivers was out there playing like she on the playground, and she was a Gamecock. So you're letting Rivers do all this to y'all. And you know what you're gonna do when you play South Carolina, because then you gotta have to deal with Raven. You gotta deal with Te-Hina Paopao. You gotta have to deal with some Tessa Johnson. You gotta deal with some Bree Hall. And I didn't even mention the superstar herself from Keenan High School. Oh, Malaysia Fulwiley. You don't have no answer for us at the guard position. Y'all can score the basketball. Y'all can shoot the 3, but you can't defend worth 2 cents. That is UConn basketball. You can't defend. You can't defend. So if you can't defend, you cannot stop South Carolina. I'm just saying, you can't stop South Carolina. And then in the post, it's just barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken sprinkled over. You know what? You're not even pig feet. You're barbecue chicken. We're just going to eat you up all day. That's how we're going to do. That's all we're going to do. It's just going to be it's going to be easy. It ain't going to be easy. But I tell you this right here. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. Not a team that I saw. Because you just can't. You're not just going to overnight learn how to defend these athletic guards that we got. That ain't going to happen. And then you know with LSU. So UConn dropped from 2 to 8. 2 to 8. That's a big drop. I just got to say. Then we got LSU. LSU dropped from the number 1 team in the country, the Dream Team. The Dream Team. We got all these transfer portal players. We got the number 1 and number 2 transfer portals that decided to come to LSU. Number 1 ranked recruiting class. You got Angel Reese, player of the century. You got all these players. You got Flajay, going to probably perform at the Grammy Awards. You got all these things happening, right? But it didn't help you. None of those things helped you when you was playing Colorado, because Colorado beat the brakes off of y'all. And you dropped from number 1 to number 7. And you know what you did? Instead of the schedule, because you thought you was going to be Colorado. You thought you was going to be Colorado. And you know what the schedulers did? When you're playing your season, because you know you don't play nobody. So after Colorado, you play Queens University. Queens University literally down the street from your crib. And then you played Mississippi Valley State. So you didn't learn anything from those 2 basketball games. You learn more from practicing against yourself than playing Queens University and Mississippi Valley State. Now we're going to see Mississippi Valley State on November the 24th. We're going to see them, but I don't even know how to explain it. We're going to play them, but the game is already over. The game is all over. But the girls from Mississippi Valley State, they play LSU, so they play some top competition, but they come down to South Carolina. It's going to be a different story. So you beat Queens, blowing them out. Queens can't play against E.E. Smith. They can't play against South Meck. And you're playing against a team like that. And then you got Kent State, Southeast Louisiana. I just go on and on about your schedule, because your schedule is straight garbage. Straight garbage. You don't play anybody again till November the 30th. November the 30th, and you're playing Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is going to give y'all some problems, because you got what's the big girl? I think her name is Kitley. Then you got the guard named Amori. You got problems. You still don't have a point guard, so I don't know how you're going to get set in your offense. And you have nobody. Kitley is 6'6", so you know you can't defend her. You're going to put Angel Reese on her? No, you can't do nothing against Virginia Tech. So that's another loss too. So you'll drop more down in the poll. So you got LSU. You got Stanford. Stanford went from 15 to 6. 15 to 6, you got Stanford. And they beat a quality team in Indiana. Not only they beat a quality team in Indiana, they blew out a quality team in Indiana. That was they won by 30, so they should move up in the polls. Stanford's a good basketball team. Colorado. I don't think Colorado should have went up to number 5 just because they beat up on LSU without a point guard. But they went from 20 to 5. Okay. All right. Revisionist history is what it is, okay? You beat LSU. All right, Colorado's not the number 5 ranked team in the country, but that's what they are right now. That's what they are right now. So, but Colorado blew out LSU. They won against Oklahoma State. They played Lemoyne. Not sure what Lemoyne is. Somebody hit me up in the comments. I'm not sure what Lemoyne is. And they play a ranked team. This is what they do. They play a ranked team November the 25th. I think that's Thanksgiving weekend. We'll be tuning in because they play North Carolina State. So they'll find out how good Colorado actually is. Because Rivers is the truth. She is the truth. And North Carolina State ranked number 14. So off the victory from UConn, North Carolina State is just balling. You know, they're just balling. And then you got Utah. Utah moved up from number 5 to number 4. Utah moved up from number 5 to number 4. They got a big game tomorrow. They got a big game tomorrow against Baylor. Baylor is their first test because the first game they played was Mississippi Valley State. The second game they played was South Carolina State. And I'm all about the HBCUs, all about the HBCUs. My daughter went to, I got one daughter went to Howard. I got one daughter went to Fayetteville State. My son-in-law went to Fayetteville State. So I'm all about the HBCUs. But they doing an HBCU tour on the first 2 games. Now you're going to play somebody with some serious basketball skills with Baylor. And we'll find out how good Utah is on tomorrow at 7:30. And then UCLA. UCLA is a veteran team, a really good team, a veteran team returning a lot. But they ain't played nobody either. They played Purdue. Purdue is not good this year. They won up against Purdue for 43 points. USC, Riverside, Bellarmine. You're not playing anybody until you play UConn on November the 24th. There's some good basketball Thanksgiving week. There's some really good basketball Thanksgiving week. It's going to be some stuff to see. Because some of these top-level teams finally playing some other top-level teams. So we're going to see how good these teams are. Is UCLA the real deal? Not sure. We're going to find out when they play a top-level team. You already know how South Carolina roll because we already played top-level teams. But let's move on. So we go on to Iowa. Iowa is now the number 2 team in the country. Went for number 3? Number 3 in the country, now they went up to number 2. And I'm not sure how in the world Iowa got 13 first place votes. I'm not sure how they got that. I'm not sure. I guess some of these voters still think that Iowa is better than us because they beat us last season when we played our worst game. But that's a whole different Gamecock basketball team. Whole different Gamecock basketball team. This basketball team will eat Iowa for lunch. We'll eat Iowa for lunch and then snack on dinner as well. That's why I feel about Iowa, because they can't defend us. They can't defend us. They can't defend our guards. They can't stay in front of us. They can't stay in front of us. I ain't worried about no Iowa. They got no size. We're just going to beat them up inside, then shoot the lights out outside. But right now, you're talking about Iowa, the second-ranked team in the country. And there we go. Iowa played Virginia Tech. Really good basketball game. Really good basketball game. And they don't play another ranked opponent. Here's the thing. They played Virginia Tech on November the 9th. November the 9th, they played Virginia Tech up here in Charlotte. They don't play nobody else who is ranked until January the 13th. I say again, it is November the 13th today. They don't play another ranked team till December, January for 2 months. For 2 months. And then all we're going to hear about is the stats that Caitlin Clark is playing again. She's doing this. She's doing that. That's what we're going to hear. But I'm here to tell you, you can get these crazy abnormal video stats when you're not playing in T-by-T. And that's what's going to go down. You're going to see, oh, she's a player of the year. She's doing this. She's averaging 25, 27, 28 points. The leading scorer of the universe. But she's playing her next ranked team in 2 months. 2 of them. 2 months. I'm just saying. If you want to see good basketball, AP pollers. If you want to see good basketball, have these teams play other good teams. You can miss me. Miss me with the stats. Because the only stats that matter to your boy Captain Will is when a ranked team plays another ranked team. All these other stats don't mean nothing to me. We are supposed to beat up on teams that we're better than. That is how it's supposed to be. But when you match talent against talent, then we got some competition. If you just going against some low level teams and you just blowing them out by 50, that don't prove nothing to me. So over the next 2 months, don't tell me about what Caitlin Clark is doing. I can't care less. I don't give two damns about what she's doing offensively until she does it against a top level team. And we all know she's going to take half the shots. She took half the shots at Virginia Tech, and it worked. They won by 4. What happens Caitlin Clark breaks a nail? What happens if somebody steps on a toe? What happens if she misses a ball game or two? Exactly. That's what's going to happen because everything is ran through her. But right now, you're ranked number 2. You're going to be, obviously, you'll be ranked for a long time because you're playing nobodies. You're playing junior varsity teams. You're playing culinary schools. You're playing trade schools. You got the job corps on the schedule. I mean, I'm just saying what it is. Do you have some Christian academies on the school? On the schedule? I just want to know. And then the number 1 team in the country is the South Carolina Gamecock basketball program. South Carolina beat 2 top level teams back to back, 100 plus points. Blew out 1 team by 40, 1 team by 30, and that's South Carolina. That's South Carolina. And South Carolina ain't ashamed or ain't afraid to play anybody. So we got Clemson coming up, and I'm going to talk more about Clemson later, but we got Clemson on Thursday. Clemson got 1 5-star recruit. 1. That's all they got, which is good for them. They got 1 of them. The South Carolina Gamecocks have 9. Do I need to list them all out? I will, because somebody might be new to Captain Will who's not in tune with the recruiting. So we're going to list the 9 McDonald's All-Americans on this basketball team. Raven Johnson, starting point guard. Te-Hina Paopao, starting shooting guard. Bree Hall, wing, starter. Chloe Kitts, 5-star recruit, 17th in the country, came in early. No, she's not a McDonald's All-American, and the reason she's not a McDonald's All-American is because she decided to come into school early. But Captain Will says she's a McDonald's All-American, so we move on. So McDonald's All-American for Chloe Kitts, and then we got Kamilla Cardoso, the McDonald's All-American. That's 5 of them. Y'all got 1. And then we go down to the bench. You're talking about Malaysia Fulwiley, McDonald's All-American. Tessa Johnson, McDonald's All-American. We saw what she can put in the work this last game. So Malaysia Fulwiley, Tessa Johnson, McDonald's All-Americans. I mean, it just keeps going on and on. Ashlyn Watkins, McDonald's All-American. Sanaya Fagan, McDonald's All-American. They're the deepest team that we've ever had at the University of South Carolina, and that's saying a lot. So Clemson is going to be no problem for us going down. So then we got South Dakota State, Mississippi Valley State. So we're going to we got 3 scrub teams coming up. Got 3 scrub teams coming up after playing 2 tough games. So we're going to take a little break. But then we play November 30th. We play North Carolina. North Carolina's ranked number 17. So we play them. So those are the next 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5 games. Then we play Duke. We play Duke as well. Duke's not ranked, but Duke is coached by Carol Lawson, who's an excellent coach. So the next 5 games, over those 5 games, we got 1 basketball team that is ranked. Okay, and then we can even fast forward to December the 10th when we play Utah. So what's the team name? Iowa. Iowa don't play nobody until January the 13th. That's the next ranked team. The University of South Carolina will be playing North Carolina, who's ranked. I'm going into the span of January the 13th. North Carolina, who's ranked. That's 1. Utah, who's ranked. That's 2. Then we go to January. So we playing 2. I thought we was playing. We don't play LSU to January the 25th. So this is what South Carolina doing. We're playing top. So that'd be 4 top-ranked teams in the span of a couple of months of the schedule. And then we get into the thick and thin of the SEC schedule. We play LSU 1 time. We play Tennessee 1 time. We play Ole Miss. We play UConn. We just playing just so many teams. You know what I'm saying? Just so many teams. South Carolina aren't afraid to play quality teams to help their basketball team. The question is this team better than last year's team? Well, by the look of things right now, you can't say that. We can't say that. You can't say that. It's just after 2 games. A lot have to be proved on the basketball court. Because some adversity is going to happen. Some adversity is going to happen for this basketball team, and we're going to have to see how we respond. You know, there's going to be some injuries. There's going to be some stuff that happens during the basketball game that has not happened yet. But I would say this right here. This basketball team is the most well-rounded team that South Carolina has ever had. Book it. And we're talking about teams that won a national championship in 17 and 22. This team is the most well-rounded basketball team in the country and the most well-rounded team that South Carolina has ever had in the Dawn Staley and the whole era of South Carolina women's basketball. The best, most well-rounded. Will this team right here win a championship this year with all these new pieces? Well, I tell you this right here. These other teams hope that we don't. They hope for the downfall, and Maryland's coach Brenda Free said it like this right here. She thinks the team is better than it was last year. We still got the size, but now we got more speed and more shooting ability. So you try to outquick us by starting 4 or 5 guards, you know, and then you find out real fast that our guards are better than yours. So you can't do it that way because you still have to defend. You're going to score some points. You're going to hit some 3-pointers, but we're going to beat you down low like you stole something. That is how it's going to be done. That is how it's going to be done this upcoming season. You can't, you try one way, you got to try another way. You try that way, you got to try another way. Because it's not going to happen for the South Carolina Gamecocks this year. So the minds that you thought was going to happen, and I'm talking about all the AP pollers, because you look crazy right now by ranking the 6th in the preseason polls and the SEC polls and non-All-Americans, because it's now South Carolina #1, but we didn't have nobody on the preseason All-American teams, because you got a lot of girls who can score some points. You got a lot of girls who can score some points, but scoring points is cool. Scoring points is cool. We got some girls who can score some points, but we also got some girls on this team who can defend you. So you're going to score some points. You are going to score some points, but we will defend you, and we will score more points than you. That is South Carolina basketball this year. That is South Carolina basketball this year. And we continue. The longer that we are #1, the more these preseason polls look crazy. Like we're ranked #6. Didn't have nobody in preseason All-Americans. Only had one player in the preseason SEC. And that was Kamilla Cardoso. The longer it goes, you look crazy. Because it already looked crazy after the first week with South Carolina getting bumped from #6 to #1 because the teams that you thought were better lost the first week because all the dream team thing didn't work out for you. It didn't work out for you. You're getting all the buzz, going to put all LSU games on TV, but you look crazy when they lose the first game. That's how it looked. You look crazy when UConn, the other darling of ESPN, because they're only 50 miles away from the doggone workplace, you look crazy. So you got to drop them down. You got to drop LSU down again. You hope that they rise back up like the phoenix in the sun. You hope it. But what's going to remain the same, and from now and forevermore, South Carolina Gamecocks are going to be #1. And if not #1, we will be top 3 for the whole season. Because there's not going to be a time where we're going to lose multiple games in a row. Not this basketball team. You better hope we have a C game. That's for all these teams. You better hope we have a C game. Because we don't have a C game. We show up B+. You don't show up and we come in there with an A game. There's no team in the country that can compete against us with the A game. But we show up a C game, you better hope it happens. Because that's the only way this basketball team is going to lose. Only basketball team is going to lose. And that's just the way that it goes. It's just the way it goes. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun as we go forward for this year. So again, if you're new to Captain Will, this how I roll. If you don't like how it goes down, don't tune in. Don't tune in to Captain Will because we're going to have fun. We're going to do a call-in show on Wednesday. We're going to have some great times on the Captain Will show. And we're going to continue to uplift women's basketball and, of course, the University of Gamecock women's basketball. Game time is Thursday against Clemson. Clemson don't show up. I already told you before. Don't show up. Don't show up. You're gonna lose by 40. You don't embarrass yourself, coach. Don't embarrass the girls like that. You're losing by 40. Losing by 40. I say it like this right here. South Carolina Gamecocks are here on this revenge tour, just like Raven Johnson told me. On the revenge tour, and we're gonna lay the smack of down to all these teams. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your boy, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you subscribe. You are now rocking with the best, and since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your boy, Captain Will.